Hi guys, welcome to ABANTU Live. Today is the last episode. Woohoo! 4 weeks, 5 countries, 8 creatives. I think we've done 8 or 9. I'm not too sure. But welcome to the last episode. And today we have a special guest, Maiden's Way.
Gang.
You were busy dancing.
Apologies for my tardiness. Hi. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I am good. How you doing?
You look nice.
Thank you. It is quarter past 11 and I'm looking like this at home. At home.
Nah, you look good. You look good. See, I thought I would have the same look that of the picture that you posted. I even have the same shirt and the same hat. So no misconceptions. What I look like on the fly is exactly what I look like in life. So here I am. I wore this for you guys. Also, my trim is dead. The trim is dead.
We're hiding the hair.
It's non-existent.
How's quarantine been treating you?
Quarantine's been good, actually. You know, it's a tragic time. Obviously, we're in the pandemic, so that let's not be light about that. But no, it's been good. I love a good recluse. I'm a very reclusive. Is that reclusive? Yeah, I'm a very, people think I'm a super extro, but I'm actually more intro than I am extro. So I'm just, as long as I'm here, pressing on keyboard and working on my work, I'm good. So it's been a lot. And the only time I've ever I venture out is when we do the lives. But yeah, it's been chill, and I got to catch up with a lot of work because I was getting overwhelmed. Oh my god, there are people on my neck about So it's been good. How about you? How's yours?
I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm ready to go out and about. I'm not a sit down person. I've been doing a lot of sitting, and I'm not a sit down person.
Oh right. But
now
proposals and plans and the Blue Air project that we talking about before, but it's all good.
I know. I've been doing the work that I need to do, but now I'm ready to go out and do the physical stuff. I miss it.
I hear you.
So first of all, if you just want to introduce yourself, so your name, your age, and where you're from originally.
I'm not saying my age on this public platform.
Wow.
First of all,
I feel like, do I even?
There's a couple of babes that lie to how old I am. I'm not doing that. Okay. Well, all you guys need to know is, hi, my name is Kuda. I sometimes refer to myself as King Kuda. That's not something that I'm trying to get anyone else to say. And I'm the founder and creative director of Maiden's Way. Also a producer. My background is in music, but now it's in more how can I say, creative direction and just building a platform and a brand. So I'm a startup founder, I guess.
Nice. And where are you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe. I was born in Zimbabwe.
Whereabouts?
I was born in Harare, actually.
H-Town.
In in Avenues Hospital.
Right.
Funny enough, I've only ever been back to Zimbabwe once, and this is weird to say, but it's true.
I think we spoke about this the other time.
We spoke about this, right? When I was, it blows my mind. We were obviously with the gang, and we were just driving around doing the most, it's lit.
Yeah.
And we end up by a wall in town, and we're taking pictures. And then I actually look at the picture first, and I see a building there. I'm like, oh, that's lit. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
And then I look at the sign, and there's something written behind, where we're standing.
Yeah.
I take a look at that sign properly, and it says Avenues, and I'm like, wait, I was born here. Legit. I was like, whoa. So yeah, that was cool, and from Harare, and
dope. And so when did you move from Zim? How old were you? Or
I was young. We would not mention no ages, B. I was young, and it was in, I was baby. It was in 1999, 2000. It was a while ago. Yeah, it was a while.
So what, you've been
So I'm older than that. But I was young, like I was little.
So you grew up on that side pretty much.
Pretty much. And there's a lot of I remember a lot of my upbringing. I remember being back home, and yeah, just I didn't even do the city life like everyone else. And I could have Musha if obviously I hope I can drop a little shot here. And I live with my grandma. I cherish that experience so much because there's so much memories from that, you know.
Yeah.
But all the experiences that everyone else seems to have about boarding school or like there's other things and there's so much that I watch now and just like I was never a part of that. But it's cool because I'm getting to discover that a lot of my like, you know, who I am and I'm getting to discover a lot of that identity from doing all of that.
I always envied like going to boarding school, like, oh, because all my siblings went to boarding school and they would just tell me stories. I'm like, I've always wanted to go, but that was school, there's like no time for that. You know what I mean? We're past stage, you know, we just hear the stories, I guess.
There's been a renaissance, and I think renaissance is actually the wrong word because that means to, you know.
Yeah.
But we'll use that one for now. There's been a renaissance of just African culture and obviously us being African. And with that comes people accepting and discovering more of like who they are and what they are a part of. I remember when going to school, like, shut up, you African was the diss. That was the punchline. That was the like, and the whole classroom laughed. Like, you know, I wasn't even hurt. I was just like, yo, you guys that was a dead joke. Like, what you mean? Like, you know, but like now it's the being African is the coolest thing you can even think of.
I feel like being African is a trend. We're trending.
We're trending. We're number one trending on Twitter right now. It's Black Twitter. Black is culture right now. We've always been, but I think now, it's with technology and memes and social media. It's just gone crazy. So it's a good time to be proud of that and also build institutions, brands, platforms, things. Out of that. So yeah, I encourage it. I'm not saying that's the end of one be all, but I encourage it.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, what
do I do?
What do you do from Monday to Friday?
I do everything. So I actually stopped working because I wanted to focus on my ideas, and it just happens to be at the same time that Maiden's Way started. So I in terms of like what I do Maiden's Way. That's what I do, because it gets to a point where you need to ask yourself what are you gonna be about, you know? I'm not trying to get deep on anyone on some legacy shit on some you know, I just mean, what do you want to do, bro? Like what do you want to do? And I've always gravitated and revolved around this realm of things of just like, you know, doing bits creatively and connecting that and myself also outputting that creative work. So yeah, this is my forte, and I think try to have a go at it first, then regret it later on some, you know, talking to your daughter or your and this is the biggest reason actually. I wanna one day sit on the couch with my daughter and be like, yeah, you know, I was involved in that. Like something that we'll be watching, and that's super cool to her because, you know, it'll be a disconnect. And then she look at me like, what? Nigga, you lying. You know, and I'll be like, dog, for real, look, legit. You know?
I did that,
And that's because I would have tried it. I would have at least tried to get into it. And if it fails, I'll you know, not even if, it's not gonna fail. Keep doing this.
It won't.
No, it really won't. But I'll say if, just, you know, just to be PC and democratic. That I'll at least I can go on to the next thing feeling like, yeah, I did that, I tried that, so cool, you know. So this is what I'm doing. I do it full time. I
had no idea.
I'm working, B. Like, you have no idea. No one has that. We working, like, we work.
That is so good. For those who do not know, what is Maiden's Way and what does the name mean, and like who's involved?
Oh man,
let's get a little bit of information on that. Tell us.
I look like I'm about to lie.
Because me too. I'm not even gonna lie. If someone was to ask me what is Maiden's Way, I'll be like,
ATN? Yeah.
I'm like, it's
Maiden's Way. Oh, okay. Like, you know, Maiden's Way, right? Come on, bro.
It is what it is.
Maiden's Way, fam. Maiden's Way is a creative brand. We used to say aspiring to, but now we are. So we are playing our part in what we see as the next generation of dope Zimbabwean art and entertainment culture. And we do that through music, film, we say fashion, but it's merch. So music, film, fashion, events, and socially impacting projects. In that last part, it's not really a discipline like the other ones. It's more just that everything we do has a great amount of social responsibility, or at least it tries to like have a do good in it. It's not even on some charity. I just mean that impact, impact culture, or actually do something charitable. So, and I think that's very evident in all our works, whether it's trying to transform certain notions and industries, or whether that's actually embarking on a charitable idea in a project. So that's what Maiden's Way is.
A creative brand. I like that.
Brand.
Creative.
Yeah, brand. I think I used to say platform, and that's true.
Right. Yeah.
But we are creating a brand. We're here for the money, babe. We trying to run. Listen.
Creative brand. Yeah.
But in it, I think also inadvertently we became a platform, and that wasn't. I mean, that was very intentional. That was we set out to do that. And then the community then gives you the responsibility to say like, okay, you are a platform, and then it's up to you then as a brand to accept that, or and we grace it. We say yes, we are a platform, so we we take on all the challenges, and we raise awareness about social causes and issues, but at the very, very core of it, before any of that stuff, is we're here to fuck shit up. Like, we're here to do dope fucking creative, like, listen, I'm sorry to curse like that, but that's the only way I can explain that. Like, I've always said that, and someone once said to me, like, do you, and I was like, no, legit, I walk into meeting rooms and I will say that. I'll say exactly that. Like, what are you guys trying to do? I'm trying to fuck shit up, B. I'm at a boardroom, like, I'm standing at the table, like, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to fuck shit up, bro.
With a bunch of people like in suits,
People
in suits. All right, let's just answer the question that we just got. So, how does your brand connect with music?
So it's simple. Those disciplines or those pillars or category of work that we do, they're just based on the individuals that are in the brand. So I'm the founder, and Munashe is my co-founder, and also Tendai is a co-founder, and we've got a small team as well of other people that help us with smaller projects, other projects. And like I said, my background is in music. I'm a producer, and Tendai as well, so it gets even worse. And apparently Munashe is a rapper now. I don't know. I didn't get that memo, but okay.
Apparently. Out here, word on the street.
Apparently. I pressed record. I was like, oh, we did.
Word on the street is.
Word on the street, he's a rapper. Don't gas him, guys. Don't make him believe that. He's an actor and a comedian and a script writer and his brother. Try not to gas him. You know what I mean? Like, you can say out here wearing gold chains and shit.
Stop.
Living the rap lifestyle. Wow. But we connect with music because the people in the brand are passionate about music. I love music. Music is, oh man, I listen to music on a different level to everyone else. I absolutely adore sound and just it gets deep.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like, because the people involved in the brand are very much in music, so
passionate about those things. So it's not branding, and we thought, oh, what do we do? It's like, this is what I do, so let's do that. And then with the introduction of Munashe very, very, very early on, it was film, and then everything we do now is sprinkled with like aesthetics, even visual arts. I think now we're very
Right.
visual art brand of Monashe. He brought that. It would have been anyway, but I mean, like, it's really enforced now because, you know, whenever someone proposes something to me, I always think of like, what are we currently working on that's in line with that, so we can just, you know.
Right.
Right. I'll quickly touch on this. We are talking to Bulawayo. I'm not from there, sorry guys. Art gallery to do something not this year, next year. Wait, don't laugh.
No.
So yeah, if and that's a very visual art project. So if he's down for that, we'll definitely. I would have probably hit them up anyway because I had everyone in mind. No, trust me. Did you not see my tweet? I tagged you in the tweet. Did you not see the tweet?
No, you didn't.
I had the conversation with the director from the art gallery, and then
you're kidding.
You know, immediately like my mind ran. And then I was like, all right, bet. Here's what we're gonna do. I even called him the same day, and we spoke about it. I said, listen, I'm gonna start working on the proposal now. But this is a 2021 project. This is no anytime soon. But I just want to let you know that I'm gonna start working on it now. It's lit. So it's like a whole. Okay. In simple terms, what I want to do is when I go to Zim next year, I want to gather like all the dopest creatives in every discipline: photography, music, film, models, YouTubers, whatever, come through, and we're gonna make something in like 2 days. We're gonna camp out at the art gallery, and then make something. Yeah, like a whole like camp out, a whole creative. Listen, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Let me work on it.
You know, we've spoken things. Yeah, we've spoken things. So maybe
we'll make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. Sure.
Make it happen. So my question is, how is like the Zim community that side? Because here
the Zimbabwean community in the UK.
Yeah, because here in Perth we do not have a Zim community. There is we have an African community, but there's no like Zim community. So like how is it that side, and like obviously being made in Zwe, which is made in Zimbabwe, like how do you guys reach out to one and stuff? How do you guys get together?
It's you know, I don't even know how to explain that because I've never thought about like how is it like.
Yeah. We genuinely don't have a like Zim community.
No, we've got a community. Oh, it's big. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We've got a big community. We've got one of the biggest Zimbabwean diasporan festival here, Zimfest.
Crazy.
And that attracts 6, 7, 8,000 people a year. Crazy. So you know, which we're now a part of, by the way. And we were supposed to do a partnership with them this year. We did one last year, and it was amazing. And so this year was going to be even bigger and better.
Nice.
So we're now looking to next year, 2021. We basically do a festival within a festival. So they give us almost a quarter of their festival, and we curate our own lineup, our own program of activities, our own games, and just our own vibe within our own space.
Within yeah.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. But that was a result of us trying to have our own festival, and then hitting a snag, and then hitting up Zimfest, and they were super down, so we did that. Yeah. But now, especially next year, it's definitely gonna be, maybe even this year, it's gonna be a Maiden's Way festival, and then we'll do Zimfest. So every year we'll have those two major events: our own festival and Zimfest.
Yeah. But like in general, like back to the question, like how's the Zim community there?
The Zim community in the UK, it's dope. It's full of cool people, amazing people, really like amazing creatives and amazing just entrepreneurs and people who take that same mentality they left home with or not and apply it in whatever field they do. But it also has its dark sides, and I'm privy to some of those. And while I don't engage, I'm privy to some of them. Right. And it's disappointing to see. But for on the positive note, it's dope. And there's even sub communities within the communities, because like even like London Zim is different from like Birmingham Zim, and
no way.
Yeah, it's an amalgamation of just a different people. And what's also cool is like all of these people, I think around the world, everyone is doing something way different. But then when we come together, you just kind of see them be Zim, and that's cool to
Yeah,
see.
be Zim.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
So I asked this on when you had Moody on your live.
Yeah,
And I was okay. Here's a question for anyone watching this live right now.
yeah.
Diasporan Zimbabwean creatives, who's got the juice? Which country?
Oh,
Which country?
you guys.
I've thought about this, and I'm not gonna lie. UK, we're doing bits. We're doing.
Oh,
not even just
UK,
like,
bro. I give it to
yo.
you. I hand it to you guys. You guys.
Thank you. That was a setup. That was just.
You knew the answer. You said
that was when you know you got the juice, and you're like, who got the juice? Who got the juice?
No, I think you guys take it. You guys.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be UK because Australia we see you. Yeah, Sharon Rose said the same thing. South Africa we see you. Where China we see you. Cyprus we see you. But nah. Y'all ain't got the juice like that.
You guys got the juice. Right?
Shout out to everyone in the UK. So yeah, no, the community is good. It's got some really great people. I think the people that I've come to know, you know, I always talk about this. We spend a good amount of our earlier days as maidens where just getting to know the community. I think we are like 2 years in, we didn't even have a product or service. We spent our first we spent our earlier days.
Yes.
It wasn't intentional. It just happens to be. We got to know the community. The reason why I know you now and we know Moody and we know all these other people is because we've done the graft to network. People skip on that. And it was part of our strategy, but it was also just realizing that if you really wanna, our goal, like top goal is to be at the vanguard of like Zimbabwean art and entertainment culture around the world in quick, you know.
Right.
I don't have time to explain to people 5 projects in that we're dope. I really just want them to know that from the get-go. And I think you can go about that different ways, but I figured one of the ways you can get to do that is just do something that's inclusive and involves everyone, and you get to know people. And by the time you get to drop your stuff, it's like, yeah, shit, we've been knowing that, yeah, they're dope, shit. Yeah.
Tell us something we don't know because we've been knowing, right?
Yeah, that's literally the plan.
Okay, well, you literally just said that you guys would want to go global. So, like, would you consider doing something here in Australia? Or are you still trying to build?
That would, yeah, we're still trying to build, and that would just come down to our capacity. Every idea and project that we listen. I got off on a call to Munashe like half an hour ago, and it was just like, yeah, this and then this and then this, and we're both doing it. I'm like, yeah, and then that. He's like, yeah, nigga. But like, and we do that amongst us because we know that's our problem. But we like that. We like to explore. It's our way of brainstorming.
Yeah.
But after that, when it comes to actually doing it, we're very conscious of capacity. We're very conscious of like just do what actually makes sense. Do what actually will convert. So if we're ever to do, you know, AWST, shout out, changing time zones. It would just come down to our capacity. So if we have that capacity, yeah.
Well, I guess another question is, since like you've only been to Zim once, right? Since you moved to where you are, how have you what led you to have that interest in Zim? Like what's built you to have
it was actually accidental. Everything that we do now, and I do now, I'll speak on my behalf, is literally just a result of all the things that I've been doing prior to be doing this, or I've always wanted to do. I would have been in this field nonetheless.
Right.
But, you know, it's part of like what I was mentioning earlier about growing up and discovering your identity and where you want to impact. And for me, it's more strategy, really, because I looked at it and I thought, yeah, I could be in the UK. I want to be in the UK, first of all, because this country is a crazy footprint on the world. Yeah. You've got people here, and it's such a tiny island where you've got artists that like do stadium tours in Brazil. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And But I also realized that it's quite the shelf life of that impact that you can make here is often quite, you know, and I'm not down with that. I wanna be here, and then when I get here, I'm not leaving, you know. And then I realized, okay, how I like to explain it is that in the mud, you know, flowers blossom, like, and the ones that do blossom, or trees, or rather, or anything that comes out, I don't know, seeds. It's terrible analogy. But from like the, you know, the landscape of things right now, which is pretty bad, the ones that create brands and platforms out of this are the ones who are gonna be here if they're maintained. Because already in the time that we've started, we're young, we're 3 years, if that. I've watched a lot of initiatives, brands, platforms come and go, and it's like, all right, and we're still here. So if we just maintain, you know, we've got a really good chance of being here for like history and culture, and like in ways that we look at our legends now, and I'm speaking it, guys. This is me, universe talking. Is that they will look at us in the same way. I'm speaking, but I'm also telling you, because listen, we're here to fuck shit up. In case you forgot, I should put that as a pinned comment. What is Made in Zimbabwe? Here to fuck shit up.
Let me pin it. Like I really want to push you guys here. I really want to push Made in Zimbabwe here in Australia.
Let's talk about that, and let's do it. Let's talk about it and do it. Let's talk about it and do it.
Like genuinely, you know, because like we just. And for Zim, like, we don't hear much about Zim, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only now recently where, like, you know, we, like, especially the creative industry, like what I said again, like, there's no Zim community here. There's no firm community that represents Zim. So I think it would be dope to...
Let's talk about it, because it did pop up before. So, yeah, let's talk about it. We will.
Well, you did literally just say that you guys want to go global, but... My question was kind of like, what are you guys trying to do with like Made in Zimbabwe? So like right now, like you're still trying to build.
Yeah.
You're trying to build yourself there in the UK, or like?
No, globally.
What do you mean by?
We just happen to be based there, so a lot of the things, especially if they're physical, that will happen here. But if they're digital, they're global. And I think our playlist is a good example of that. You know what? I can't believe he's taking me. Do you know what? I am proud of myself. I refrained from talking about like the playlist till like now. Like
it was
you know. Guys, the Made in Zimbabwe playlist is a playlist is we call it the definitive playlist of dope new music by Zimbabwean artists around the world. And I must be clear about this. It's not Zimbabwe music. It's music that just happens to be made by Zimbabweans. That's all. The playlist is a good example of that, because I really was. Do you know what? I told you about this, but I'll repeat for the. It was inspired by a lot of things. We were thinking about the frustration of trying to push our works. That was the first thing. And then the lack of industry that we have as a community, and particularly as a nation in Zimbabwe. Like just look at any other, like look at Essay. Essay is the best example. Essay is the kid that, you know, your mom is telling you, like, why can't you be like your friend? What's her name? That's what Essay is to us. Like, you know, because they had media and TV way after us. Like, it was a long time. We've had, listen. And so there's a lot of catching up to do. And, you know, my mentor, actually, I was watching something earlier today, and I digress so much. She said something that was the ones, what was it? I tweeted it. The ones that, wait, I've already forgotten it. Yeah. The people that win are not waiting to be let in. So we're not waiting for anyone to give us a platform or say, like, here you go. We'll and this is super. I always talk to Menashe about the table, this virtual table that exists, and the gatekeepers of it. And it's very real, though. It's very real. Like once you get there, you start to see the people that are on this table. They don't even realize they're on this table, but there is a table.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a lot of us you and a few people watching now are trying to get on this table, but then we got to a point where like, fuck that, like let's build our own table and let's pull up a seat for our people, like the people who we know are dope and trying to come up. And that's what the playlist is. So we thought about, how do we push our work? Let's build a platform. How do we make a space that is authentic in the way that it's curated, in that it's not just one person's opinion, it's a very authentic, verified brand and a platform like Made in Way. But even that's not enough. Let's get some of the most prominent voices in Zimbabwe music and art and entertainment culture right now to be a part of that, to be ambassadors and co-curators of that. So they would say like, this is the sound. So the whole thing has to have like a sonic fingerprint. It has to, a journalist who's trying to write about Zimbabwe music, art, and entertainment culture has to be able to go somewhere and say, okay, I know what Zimbabweans around the world are making. And a young girl or young person around the world who's starting to emerge and really trying to get more into their Zimbabwean identity has a space they can go to and listen to stuff and say like, this is cool, this is modern, it's contemporary, and I fucks with this. And there hasn't been a space like that. Radio's awesome. These other platforms are great, but they're very it's limited. It's not it, fam. And then I've done so much discovering of just guys, listen to the playlist.
Wow.
Listen to the playlist. Yo, it's got heat.
I need to
heat. We've got Keiko Argentina, one of my favorite right now. He's based in Toronto. Just absolute heat. What does he say? Favorite line. I've got Jesus on the line. He told me it's ready. It's my time. I was like, get out of here. Like, I don't know. Oh man, we've got Zim Danso, a guy called Nicky Vibes. He's for me. He's gonna be huge, but people don't know that. We've got people in the UK. We've got people in. It's just an amalgamation of the dopest Zimbabweans musicians, but it's not like Zim music. It's the genres are just everything. Yeah,
because we all know his Zim music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not that. Yeah. I think we're good. I think we can wrap it up here.
I think we can. I wanted to also ask you a few things, but I feel like for those that have been watching your lives, they've kind of had a breath of that from previous lives.
Okay, ask me one question.
I'll ask you one question. Oh, let me make it good. What do you think ATN's place will be in art and culture? Like, what are you trying to get ATN to be in Zimbabwe? Not in Zimbabwe. In art and culture. Forget Zim. We're talking just, if you're gonna go for Zim, cool. If it's a Zim eccentric brand, great. But if it's just a brand for just, then yeah.
So like I said, I want to push Abantu. Like that's what I want to push. And for me, Abantu started from my documentary, which is Abantu People of Art. So for me, it's just people back home that are of art and that are in the creative industry. But so like I said, yes, I want to do work in Zim and people that are from Zim, but I mainly want to push it here in Australia because like I said, there is not much of a Zim community here in Australia. So I want to be that person to make that international connect between Australia and Zim. And it's dope. My project, like in the long run, is to do like an exchange where I get creators from here to go to Zim and then get creators from Zim to come to here. Because if you look at creators in Zim, right, there's a lot of passion. You know what I mean? People in Zim have the passion. They have the drive. And
you can see a lot of that in her documentary.
Exactly. What's my documentary? You know what I mean? Like they have the passion, but what they're lacking is like the platform. You know what I mean? The platforms, that education, that there is more than just this platform that you're using. And then people here they have the idea, but they don't have that that push to start something. You know what I mean? People just sit on their ideas for too long. They're like, oh, I want to do this, but I'm a bit scared. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping
they've got so much freedom. It's like they just nonchalant about it. Yeah, I get you.
Exactly. So through that exchange, I want to like build individuals in the industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm working towards.
Do that.
So that's why I'm using.
I can't help but see like so much similarity and spaces for convergence and you know,
right,
between every time I have conversation with someone, and I'm more concerned about people. I think you and I are not the example, but sometimes let me give you a good example. I've seen at least 2-3 pages on Instagram that promote Zimbabwean YouTubers. So that's what they do. That's their thing entirely. They promote Zimbabwean YouTubers. I'm looking at them and I'm like, so why didn't you guys just call each other and then do the same thing together and then fuck? You know what I mean? Like, so everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, and I feel like sometimes really this is really important like information. I really hope someone hears when I say this. Think about being an intrapreneur, and that's a made up term, but like think about, you don't have to be the one to start the thing. Think about, how do I take what I have and add value to an existing thing? Because it doesn't mean it still will be your baby, because you're now like, you're here now, and you've impacted it, and you've shown your value, and you're a valued member of that thing. Unfortunately, everyone has an idea, and their first thought is, I should start it myself. And then a new page on Instagram pops up, and your best friend is asking you to follow this page, and you're like, bro, like, I've done this, I've added, I've followed, and you own 300 likes, and it's still like, I just don't.
I hear you, trust me.
You know, so guys, let's think more about collaboration. Let's think more about and I know it's easy for me to say as the one that then started something, but I genuinely see all the time. If I wasn't doing this, I would have brought that's the goal. I would have brought my forte to someone else's thing, and then we fuck up the whole shit. So, yo, free game.
Awesome. Let's wrap it up here.
Yeah, let's. My final word will be, guys, please check out Maiden's Way playlist on maidensway.com/playlist. We also have our own productions. We worked on a project called Chido. It's a love story by Munashe, and it's on 91,000 views, and we just want to get to 100K. Because for me, I always say from the get-go that if I can walk into a room and say, we got 100K, B, like, I don't know what you need. Like, that's all I want to do. So please give me that. What else are we working on right now? Oh man, there's so much. Those are the two prominent things. We also, you know, Chido, or just go on our socials. You'll find the stuff.
It is there. It is there.
There's so much to talk about, and unfortunately, there's not enough time. But like, there's it's a lot. But like, love to everyone. Support is very, very important. We are very grateful. Both myself and ATN are very grateful for everyone that follows what we do and work on, because in the day we're trying to serve good quality content to you guys. If you guys are from the Maiden's Way side, make sure you follow Albertina. Albertina, what's the T for, by the way?
Tabisani.
Oh yeah, I actually know that. Hey,
you know,
who mans is this?
It's funny because you keep saying ATN, but I changed. ATN is now just like my event photography, but I go by Albertina Tabisani Ngube. That is my name. My name is my brand now. I brand my name.
I don't know, but okay. So Albertina Tabisani Ngube. I love Tabisani, by the way. Yeah, follow her, because you know, super dope. Like, the one thing that strikes me about you is how young you are and what you're doing. It's the disparity between that is insane, you know. So you can only imagine what you're gonna do when you're actually at a place where it's like, because you know, when you think of like creatives or any person, anyone doing something, you see them at a certain age. They're well within their, not even prime. It's just like, yeah, that's an adult doing something.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whilst, yeah, of course you're an adult, but I mean, like, you're very much at the early stage of that, and but then the output of what you're doing, if you've ever needed to know, like, that should be your single driving force, that you actually have no pressure, you have time, but you have to keep working on the thing, because
for sure.
you know, yeah. I think I have so much to say. I'll one day really script a TED talk that will be time managed, and you guys will catch wind of that. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.